Ladies and gentlemen, if you could find your seats, the show will begin in 5 minutes.
Something new, oh, baby, honey, to keep me loving you, oh, and with every passing minute, oh, baby, so much joy wrapped up in it. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Song to sing, telling the world about the joy you bring. Sweet love. And you gave me a reason for living, and who you taught me. You taught me the meaning of giving. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. You've given me, I could never return, 'cause there's so much, girl, I've yet to learn. And I wanna show my appreciation, 'cause when I found you, I found a new inspiration. Love, oh,
beginning in about 5 minutes. We're just going to give people a chance to get their seats, so about 5 more minutes.
Selfish one, you're walking me to my door. Oh yeah, selfish one, you never did this before. Oh no, without a chance to resist, your lips met mine. You get into it, your love might shine, and I can see that you really are a ball, and you're not selfish at all.
We still have some people coming in, so if you could please find your seats. In about 5 minutes, we're going to get started with the ceremony. If we can have everyone to please have a seat and find your seat so we can go ahead and begin the show.
what might have been something up ahead. Hey, should I keep this same direction or go back instead? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Why? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Ooh. Honey, let's start walking around. When there's love lost to be found. Oh, and you know I still care, I still care. What's the sense of going elsewhere? Who feels really sure? Can that feeling guarantee your happiness shall endure? Do we really care? Hey, hey, let's look at what's been happening and try to be more aware. I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Hey, in the dark. Why? I keep hearing footsteps, baby, in the dark. Oh, in the dark. Ooh. Hey, let's stop walking around. Well, when there's love lost to be found. Oh, you know I still care, I still care. What's the sense of going elsewhere? Oh, let's stop walking around and around and around. When there's no love to be found. Hey, baby, you know I still care, I still care. What's the sense of going elsewhere?
Good evening, good evening. May we have your attention. Good evening, we're ready to start the ceremony tonight. We're ready to start the ceremony. We're going to ask if everyone would find their seats. As we gather here tonight, my name is Pastor Robert Dix Jr. here in the city of Cleveland, and it's good to begin all things with prayer. And so we're going to just take a moment and offer God thanks for this evening. Eternal God, our Father, Lord, we thank you and we praise you for our time together tonight. We thank you, oh God, for each artist that's being recognized. We thank you for the ones that's already been inducted. We thank you, oh God, for this vision and allowing it to come into fruition. And so we give you praise tonight. Although we are celebrating the lives of those who have accomplished great works with the gifts that you blessed them, we give you all the credit. We give you all the honor, and we give you all the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to you tonight our host, Mr. Corey Washington.
Do you like good music? That sweet soul music. Just go
begin tonight, just a little bit of purpose as to why we're here. We know that R&B music has a rich and long-lasting legacy that is worthy of proper preservation. Going all the way back to 1968 with Bill Cosby heading up a group backed by Billboard to start an R&B Hall of Fame, to Gamble and Huff trying to start an R&B Hall of Fame, all efforts have seemingly fallen short. That is until the year 2010, where Cleveland's own Lamont Robinson took the bull by the proverbial horns and started the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. And he had the inaugural induction ceremony right here in Cleveland in 2013. Now, with no major corporate sponsors, the R&B Hall of Fame has inducted over 300 world-renowned artists and held multiple induction ceremonies in several cities. In 2015, Lamont even had 2 ceremonies in 1 year. He had one ceremony in the home of the blues, Clarksdale, Mississippi, and also another one in Detroit. Now, Lamont has also founded the American Basketball Hall of Fame, the National High School Football Hall of Fame, but when you asked him why he's doing all of this work, it's not about money or fame, because Hall of Fames are not a lucrative money-making venture. He simply states that he just loves seeing people get their just due, their flowers, their proper recognition. That's right. He's a fan of R&B music just like we are. And he wants what we all want, to make sure that these artists and influential figures of R&B, past, present, and future, have a home where their legacy can be curated, honored, and preserved. And that's why we are all here this evening. So before we get started, if we could just give Lamont another warm round of applause. And there you go. And everyone that's had a part in this behind the scenes as well, all the volunteers and everything. Because I could go off script here and talk about the behind the scenes stuff, but we've been waiting too long, so I'm not gonna do that to y'all. All right. Now, before we get started, we do have a video, though, that we want to show you about the work of the R&B Hall of Fame with this brief video on both sides.
Rhythm and Blues, 80 years of no respect.
We often get applause and fame, but respect for one's work is what we all strive for.
Rhythm and blues music became very popular in the 1940s, and since then, this genre of music has helped other genres and artists from Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones. Rhythm and blues artists and their music have made many record companies and executives hundreds of millions of dollars. But the artists that created this music, many of them pass away broke and homeless, and their contributions to the music world has long been forgotten. 45 years later, after Bill Cosby made his announcement, former basketball player and Hall of Famer Lamont Robinson announced he was building a National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame and hosted its inaugural induction ceremony.
If you look at the back of the record, you start seeing other names, you know, the names of some of the publishers' names, some of the record producers' names who did write those songs.
Rihanna, Beyonce, Destiny's Child.
When I first heard Boyz II Men, New Edition, Backstreet Boys, all that's doo-wop.
They should acknowledge us, because if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be here.
We never planned to write rock and roll. We were just trying to write good rhythm and blues.
Playing in clubs, behind the curtain, but they don't see my face.
Maybe just as a joke, I mean, just as a mean joke, they took Fathead in and they left Ray, blind as he was, out on the highway.
It was a music born of an oppressed people that said to you, a better day is coming.
There was a price paid for this music.
But not as long as the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame is in place.
Club Avenue was a stop on the Chitlin circuit.
black performers couldn't perform anywhere except in black communities.
It was a lot of fun. It was all brand new to us. The South was different. The South was a lot different. It wasn't as much fun.
We don't honor our own. It's stupid for us to pick another culture here.
We don't take this lightly, like I said. This is an honor, this is an achievement, and it means just as much to us as a Grammy or anything else they want to compare it to.
What's up, y'all? It's Jermaine Dupri. I just want to say thank you for inducting me into the R&B Hall of Fame.
Growing up in a house full of 8 sisters and brothers, we sang and played all kinds of music. We felt it, lived it, and for me, there was never any doubt that music would be my life. Rhythm and blues is our undisputed heritage. We should honor it, respect it, protect it. Thank you.
Coming to the great city of Cleveland, the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. This will be the official permanent home of R&B music history and its icons. This one-of-a-kind, world-class, state-of-the-art, highly interactive cultural center will feature the likes of Cleveland's own The OJs, New Edition, Prince, Aaliyah, and the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. The National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame will be one of the top music attractions in the world. This project will bring over 250,000 unique visitors annually to the city of Cleveland. Since 2013, the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame has inducted over 300 world-renowned legends and has hosted their annual star-studded red carpet Hall of Fame weekend induction ceremony for over 12 years. Here are some of the features: the National Rhythm and Blues Music Experience, the National R&B Walk of Fame, the 800-seat Leo's Casino Music Theater, the legacy of Black Cleveland music, the Chitlin Circuit of America and Black AM Radio, the Gospel and Blues Music Experience, the 20 Grand Music Cafe, the Hip Hop of America, and the Cleveland Inner City Youth After School Music Academy, plus a recording studio, classrooms, and offices. The National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame will be the ultimate musical experience attraction in the world.
The R&B Hall of Fame has been looking for a permanent home for over a decade. By a show of applause, how many here would like to see the R&B Hall of Fame here permanently in Cleveland, Ohio? Once again, my name is Corey Washington, and welcome to the 2024 National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm the lead historian for the R&B Hall of Fame, and coming to the stage with me are my co-hosts for this evening, Savon Bass. There you go. And Ken Hawkins, Jr. And we will be your hosts for the Leo's Casino Music Icon Awards. We're thrilled to have you with us here tonight as we celebrate the incredible legacy of R&B music and honor its legendary artists.
That's right, Corey. This evening is not just about recognition. It's about celebrating the rich history and culture that R&B has brought to our lives. We'd like to extend our gratitude to our sponsors for their generous support and making this event possible. Before we dive into tonight's festivities, I'd like to read the mission statement of the National Rhythm and Blues of Hall of Fame: to honor and celebrate the artists, producers, and the music that has shaped the rhythm and blues genre and its impact on American culture.
Now, before we begin the official induction ceremony, we have a special segment that we like to call the Leo's Casino Music Icon Awards. Let's take a look at the history of Leo's Casino.
It's a tribute to a legendary Cleveland music venue, Leo's Casino, which stood just down the street from this East 75th Street home.
Leo's Casino was owned by a man named Leo Frank, who first started a jazz club on Central Avenue and East 49th from 1952 to 1962, when it unfortunately burned in a fire. Then he partnered with a man named Jules Berger in 1963, and they moved the club into a space in the Quad Hotel on Euclid Avenue at 75th.
Leo's Casino crowds saw the biggest acts in R&B and jazz. The OJs, Dionne Warwick, The Temptations, you name it. The Rock Hall honored Leo's with an historical landmark plaque in 1999. And it was the first venue inducted into the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame in 2013.
Leo's was a stepping stone to a lot of entertainers.
That's Freddie Arrington. He was the Leo's Casino MC extraordinaire. But
half the time I thought the club was mine to payday, then I realized that I didn't own it.
Arrington described Leo's as a black and tan club, meaning everyone was welcome no matter the color of your skin.
We didn't separate anybody from anything. And you would meet people that you would never come in contact with them.
Was the integration intentional?
Yes and no. Because I'd say yes, because we didn't reach for black entertainment only, we reached for entertainment. And that's what we wanted, what the people liked. I'd get on the stage and I'd tell people in a minute, say, hello to your black and white brother. The only color we recognize in here is green. And we meant that. Well, we recognize the green now.
Arrington is full of stories.
Smokey Robinson, and I knocked on the door. And Smokey said, what do you want? Anyway, I told him, I said, the kids are standing outside for a matinee. He said, well, I'm in gear for a matinee. He said, I'll tell you what I do. I said, what's that? He said, these kids buy my records. They make me and make my show. He did the show and he did a dynamite show. I mean a dynamite show. Take Aretha Franklin. Her and I were talking in the dressing room. I was talking about, her and I were talking about another entertainer. And I'm programmed to come out as an MC, programmed to bring her on. I said, blah, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I called that person's name, and it wasn't the right name. The whole audience said, ah! And Aretha was standing there, she was smiling. And she walked up on stage, after I said, Aretha Franklin. And she walked up on stage and she kissed me on the cheek.
That's right. Leo's Casino was a legendary nightclub located in Cleveland, Ohio. It played a pivotal role in the city's music scene from the 60s all the way into the early 70s. Known for its vibrant atmosphere and commitment to showcasing R&B soul music, the venue attracted some of the biggest names in the industry, including Cleveland's own mighty OJs, Edwin Starr, and the Motown Revue. It's a lot of history at Leo's Casino. Founded by Leo Frank and co-partner Jules Berger, the club became a cultural hub for musical lovers, providing a platform for both established artists and emerging talent. Although Leo's Casino closed in the early 70s, its legacy endures as a cherished part of Cleveland's history. Now let's honor some of the remarkable individuals who contributed to this vibrant legacy. First up is Freddie Arrington, the legendary master of ceremonies of Cleveland's world-famous Leo's Casino, who stood as a beloved figure in the city's vibrant music scene for over 30 years. Known for his smooth voice, impeccable style, and charismatic presence, Freddie shared the stage with some of the greatest rhythm and blues icons of the 50s and 60s, from legends like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Art Blakey, Otis Redding. Freddie's role as MC made him an integral part of these unforgettable performances. His flair, his showmanship, and dedication to the music industry, we honor him today. Accepting his award on behalf of Freddie Arrington is David Brown, Vice President of the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame.
I dig rock and roll music.
Thank you, thank you. On behalf of the R&B Hall of Fame, we are honored to accept this award for Freddie Arrington and the entire Arrington family. Freddie had planned to be here tonight, but on the advice of his doctor, because he is 98 years old, he decided not to come. Freddie's legacy with the Leo's Casino and his contributions are impeccable and truly unmatched. Freddie stated he loved to be here and give his gratitude personally, but as we said, he's unable to do. So he left with us, says, "Who loves you, baby?" So we're glad to accept this award on behalf of Freddie Arrington. Thank you.
Dr. Fred Wheat, a celebrated trombone player from Cleveland, known for his exceptional and contributions to the R&B music scene, with a career spanning several decades. He performed with many greats of R&B, particularly as a member in the house band of Leo Casino. We are honored to present Dr. Fred Wheat with the 2024 Leo's Casino Music Icon Award, recognizing his outstanding achievements in shaping the sound of R&B music in Cleveland and beyond.
Fred was supposed to be here also, but he had an emergency, so he sends his condolences and sorry that he couldn't be here, so I'll accept his award on his behalf again. Thank you.
Next, we honor Chuck Conway Sr., a prominent Cleveland radio personality known for his impactful work on WABQ during the 1960s and 70s. Conway was also a concert promoter and record shop owner, making significant contributions to the local music scene. Today, we proudly honor the late Chuck Conway Sr. with the 2024 Leo's Casino Music Icon Award. Accepting the award on his behalf is his son, Chuck Conway, Jr.
Hello, great people. Hey, I'm sorry, that's my voice. I can't help it. Taking after Dad. First, I'd like to thank God and thank you all for coming. And my sister's supposed to be on my side, but you know, she's a little ill, and let's keep her in our prayers, okay? She was supposed to be here today to be up here to accept this award. But thank you all for coming. Thank God. And Dad, I'll see you up there playing them records up there in heaven. Thank you very much.
I always joked to my dad about how loud his voice was. That voice right there, that man's loud. And it's good, and he's deep. Now let's honor the iconic group, The Temptations. Known for their distinctive blend of R&B, soul, and pop music, The Temptations frequently performed at Leo's Casino. Today, we present them with the Leo's Casino Music Icon Award. Obviously, the Temptations are not here to accept their award, but to accept the award for them is Shirley Ruffin Robinson and Kimberly Johnson, the daughters of David Ruffin.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out, and thank you for being such fans and supporting our dad. He's been gone a while, but his legacy lives on, and I just want to say thank you.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Ruffin Robinson, and I give thanks to God. And thanks for being here. Thank you, honey, on behalf of the Ruffin family. And I hope you all have a good time, because we will. All right, thank you.
Next up is Gene Chandler. Yes, yes. Known as the Duke of Earl. Inducted into the National and Blues Hall, second class, in 2014. Let's take a moment to appreciate the vintage footage, the photo of Freddie and Gene Chandler taken in 1962 at the original Leo's Casino on 49th and Central Avenue. He is celebrated for his smooth vocals and charismatic stage presence. Rising to fame in the early 1960s, Chandler is best known for his classic hit. And what is that? The Duke of Earl. Today we honor Gene Chandler with the 2024 Leo's Casino Music Icon Award, celebrating his remarkable contributions to the R&B music and his lasting influence on generations of artists. Let's look at the video of the Duke of Earl, Gene Chandler. Right at this time, we don't have Don't have any video read this time. But coming to the stage, coming to the stage, we have Mr. Gene Chandler. Let's give it up for Mr. Gene Chandler.
As I walk through this world, nothing can stop I do the work. And you are my girl, and no one can hurt you. I know, yes I love you. Come on, let me blow you, darling, 'cause I'm the Duke of so
Thank you, folks. Thank you. All right. I'm not going to do the whole song. I've been retired since 2018, enjoying the fruits of my labor. I think after 63 years, that's long enough to work. More than long. And I always said I wasn't going to be in my 80s trying to work on the stage the way I work. So I gave it up in 2018. And I'm very happy, man. And I'm doing well, okay? Well. I like to take something that the master of ceremony stole from me. I wanted to give Lamont Robinson his grace. I mean, he has backed us and been with us. I've gotten 3 different awards from him. And he's backed the R&B artists for a long, long time. He spent his money, he spent his time, and to his whole group and his outfit that helps him put these things on, I'd like for everybody, one more time, to give him a nice round of applause. My last thing I'd like to say is for you all, the public. Without you all, we would be nothing as artists. You buy our records, you come to our concerts, you watch our films. Everything is all because of you, the public, the people out here who supported us for all of these decades. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the things that you have done for us. Another round of applause for you. And thank you tonight for another award. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and God bless.
Nothing can stop me now, 'cause I'm the Duke of so
And before I leave, I'd just like to give honor to Mr. Art Blakey, that's sitting over there. He was one of the first inductees, and in 2013, the very first R&B Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Can you please stand up, Art Blakey? Of the hesitations. You all remember the hesitations, right? He's still standing strong. Thank you.
Now it's time to transition to our main induction ceremony. I'll be your host for the 13th Annual 2024 National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But coming to the stage to join me is my co-host for this evening, Cleveland native and R&B singer, Miss Evelyn Wright.
He's a little taller than me. I'm short. Cleveland! We're in the house. We thank you so much for being here. We are so happy to be here. Yes, as I look around, I think about my dad. He was the hairdresser to the stars here back. He was on Huff. You know, some of you are too young to remember the conchs, the waves, the finger waves. Oh, now you're telling your age. So he would do all of the stars. They would come to the house. I was real tiny though. Yes, indeed. But we welcome you here to the 2024 R&B Hall of Fame. We thank you for that. And also, we thank you for being the blueprints in our lives. Thank you. But this portion of the ceremony is called Gone But Not Forgotten. And we shall look at a video with this. Thank you.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Yeah, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Now to kick off our induction ceremony, we'd like to give out a special award in honor of the late, great Mary Wilson, who was a major supporter of the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we are proud to honor a true visionary behind the camera tonight. Since the inception of the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame in 2013, Marlon Kaufman has been the photographer responsible for immortalizing some of the greatest performers in the world of music. His photographs have captured not just images, but the soul and passion of the entertainers we all admire. Marlon's work is known worldwide, and his dedication to preserving the legacy of today's top entertainers through his lens is truly remarkable. It is our great pleasure to present the 2024 Mary Wilson Music Icon Award to the one and only Marlon Kaufman. Let's give him a well-deserved round of applause.
My friend.
I wouldn't have been here originally if it wasn't for the Clovers, so I don't want to forget those guys. And Harold Windley just turned 91 in May, and he's still hanging in there. The Clovers been around a long time. And I want to thank Lamont Robinson for all these years inviting me back to participate in all of this. Over the years, I've gained a lot of friends, and a lot of you over the years made me feel like somebody coming home, a family member. And I love you all for it. And Lamont, I don't think a man could have a better friend than you. And I want to...
All you wanted to do is use me. But my answer ain't all that use me stuff. I want to spread the news that if it feels it's good getting used, oh, you just keep on using me.
Terry Stewart is the former CEO and president of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, serving from 1999 to 2012. Under his leadership, the Hall of Fame expanded its exhibits, educational programs, and outreach, solidifying its reputation as a premier institution, celebrating the history and impact of rock and roll music. Stewart, a passionate advocate for music preservation, played a key role in enhancing the Hall's international presence and growing its collection. Before joining the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Stewart had a successful career in business, including serving as president of Marvel Entertainment Group. His contributions to the music world and cultural heritage are widely respected. Now, it is time for a truly historic moment. The first inductee into the 2024 class will be presented by two women who have dedicated their lives to preserving the legacy of music. Both former employees of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, please give a warm welcome as they come to the stage. Ruthie Brown and Beverly Flowers.
Well, as Mr. Washington said, I'm Ruthie Brown, former Director of Community Programs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. Beverly Flowers, who is the former supervisor of visitor services at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. Yes. It's an honor to reflect on the amazing legacy of Terry. He is the most biggest rock star we've ever had. And he's the epitome of rock star. And he's left such a tremendous legacy, not only to music, to R&B, but to the entire community of Cleveland. It's just really amazing. So a huge round of applause to Terry. So if you have heart issues, you're going to consult a cardiologist. And if you have eye problems, you're going to consult an ophthalmologist. And if you need to know anything about music, you're going to consult a musicologist, who is Terry Stewart. Well, the inductees that would come to the Rock and Roll Hall, we were very, very, very blessed to be able to bring a lot of the inductees to Cleveland and to perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Every last one of them would say, how does that man know all about me? How does he know all about my music? He knew everything. And that would always amaze not only the inductees, but other local artists. He just made it his business to do that. The other thing that is so important, and a lot of you don't know this, well, many of you do know it, but the two people who don't know Terry, he was an advocate, a tremendous advocate for the contributions of Black artists and the inductees. And he was a tremendous advocate for them, and they knew that they could depend on him. So, our educational programs at the Rock Hall were immense. We had a little program that featured 3 to 5-year-olds, and we called it Toddler Rock. We had no money for the program, it was not budgeted, but Terry told me, we're gonna do this until we get sponsorship. We ended up on the Today Show, we ended up on a big honor from the White House when George Bush was president, and it's 25 years old right now. 25, and still going, right. So, now I had to talk to Sally about this, his lovely, beautiful bride. I had to ask her, how many jukeboxes does Terry have? And she said over 22 or left. I think he sold some somewhere in some museum somewhere, but I wanted a jukebox for my office at the Rock Hall. So I went down to his office and I say, when you get a minute, when you get some time, anytime next week, take me down here to the jukebox people so I can get a jukebox in my office. He said, what you doing now, baby? And I said, what? He says, we'll go now. So he helped me pick out my jukebox, and I still have my wonderful jukebox because he's a connoisseur of jukeboxes. And I didn't quite understand what Sally meant when she said, well, he's got 750 boxes of vinyls. And I don't know how many albums are in those boxes, but I would think well over 10,000 that he has. And so let's give him a big round of applause for that. Right? And some of his memorabilia is off the charts. And the other thing that I wanted to mention to you, the other musicologist at the Rock Hall is Beverly. Oh. Beverly Flowers.
Thank you.
We all depend on Beverly for helping us to understand music and to love it as much as she did. So it is our pleasure, really our pleasure, to say, we love you, Terry.
Love you, Terry.
But we love you, okay. Thank you.
Well, Ruthie kind of said it all, so thank you, Ruthie. But it is indeed a pleasure to be here this evening to witness Terry receiving this so well-deserved award. And it's an awesome opportunity to be asked to be one of the presenters. So we love you, Terry. God bless you, and keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the evening. Terry, come on up, get your flowers. Everybody give Terry a round of applause. My old boss. See if I can get him to write me a back check when he get up here.
It's a shame the way you mess around with the man. It's a shame.
I would also like for Sally to come up too. Sally, come on up.
It's a shame.
We always recognize the stars, and sometimes we don't recognize the wives who kept him going, and that would be Sally.
The way you mess around with the man. It's a shame the way you play with my emotions. It's a shame the way you mess around with the man. You're like a child at play on a sunny day.
Good evening. I'm more startled I'm up here than you are, trust me. And that's no joke. When Lamont told me about this, I didn't even have words for it because I was afraid it wasn't true and I was afraid it was true in both respects. I'd like to think that I've been so fortunate because having been able to be the president of the Rock Hall, it allowed me to exercise all the love I have for this music and make some differences on occasion about who was honored and who was awarded inductions. And I say that because this music changed my life. I grew up in what Ruthie knows I affectionately call LA. LA is Lower Alabama. And when I was very young, I started listening to WLAC, which is the station out of Tennessee that broadcasts Clear Channel across the South. Bob Marley heard it on the islands, and it changed my life. They had a show on 11 o'clock at night playing rhythm and blues, and it was just remarkable. And it was the three white guys that everybody thought were black, and they weren't. It often happened that way in those days. And that you could buy records off that radio station, and I did. You bought 3 45s, you got the fourth for free. And Randy's Record Store. And so it started early. My folks let me go to R&B shows when I was young by myself, which is remarkable given I'm living in the South, but they did. And my wife is going to yell at me for telling too many stories, but I got the mic for a little bit here. I went to see Ray Charles when I was 12 by myself, and I ran over because there was no backstage. It was a black venue, and I asked Ray Charles for his autograph. Now I know that's funny. And I said this, I emceed a Ray Charles show, and I said that, and they laughed at me because I'm asking this blind guy for an autograph. And I knew that, but I was so excited to see him. And later on, the valet came over and gave me a postcard signed by Ray. And when I told that story at Ray's show, I did it in Akron, I emceed the show. And everybody laughed, and I went backstage to give Ray his Hall of Fame induction jacket, much like I just got mine. Thank you, Lamont. And they're all laughing back there. And I said, "What are you laughing at?" "I know a 12-year-old kid asking a blind guy for an autograph." And they said, "No, it's not why we're laughing." One of the guys stood up, he said, "That was me that signed your postcard. He'd been with Ray that long." But on a more serious note, the one thing that I was privileged to do once we got the inductions back here in Cleveland, one of the oversights that they did when they first opened the museum in the 80s, in the 90s, was that they didn't always induct the way they were supposed to. The rules say you're inducted based on the first record you had. And so in that first couple of years, they inducted James Brown, Hank Ballard, our favorite, James Brown, and they didn't induct the Flames, the Midnighters, you know. And so the last year I was there, and we had they gave us permission to go in. So getting to bring all those people and a lot more, those rhythm and blues artists who were completely ignored and finally got their trophies of being inducted in, was a big deal. And Lamont, thank you in the R&B Hall of Fame, and thank my wife for putting up with my jukeboxes and my records and all that, and all the shows I've drug her to. And In fact, I was lucky enough to meet Mr. Osborne today and tell him that when I first met my wife, and she had a little boy, and the first show I ever took him to was Jeffrey Osborne's show. And Jeffrey would come off the stage in those days and take the mic to the table where you're sitting and go, "Can you woo, woo, woo?" So my son woo, woo, wooed with him when he was 12 years old. And he would be here today, but he's a professional musician. He's in Memphis playing a gig. So I'm happy and I'm upset about that in both ways. I'm also thanking Lamont because I was on the R&B Foundation board for about 20 years, and it was founded in the late 80s, and that board allowed me to get to know and work with some of my idols. On that board was Jerry Butler, the Iceman, Chuck, I Don't Want to Cry Anymore, Jackson, who we just lost him not long ago. Etta James was on there. Yeah. And Bonnie Raitt, too, another individual who just loves the music and gives so much homage to it every time she gets a chance. So we tried for many years to do this Hall of Fame thing, and you're right, the fact that Kenny Gamble particularly was on the board with me. He tried in Philly, he never could do it. So I'm hoping with Lamont's never give up personality and the energy he brings to this that we can make this happen. So I urge you to tell your friends about it. We hopefully have more public information about it soon. And for Cleveland to have that and the Rock Hall would just be a home run in so many ways. So I'm also very glad to see that we're honoring Genuine today because it was a battle for a lot of years among the people that nominate and vote to make sure they understood that hip hop is nothing more than the ultimate sort of evolution of rhythm and blues. It's a river that divides into a lot of tributaries, and hip hop has been the most dominant genre of music for the last 30 or 40 years, let's be honest. It rules the world in so many ways. So it's very, very important that these artists get their dues. So I'm glad that we're doing it here. I'm glad we're able to do it at the Rock Hall. Again, I'm humbled. I really am. Mr. Chandler knows, I talked to him earlier that we've had him at the Rock Hall to perform, and all the stars that are being honored, they're just icons in my mind. I feel so privileged. And again, thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the R&B Hall of Fame.
Boy, that was wonderful. Great stories. You never know the behind the scenes, do you? And you didn't tell me you were a musicologist. I love that. Dale Edwards. Is a renowned radio legend in Cleveland, owning several influential radio stations from Northeast Ohio, including WABQ, 1460, 99.7 FM, and WKTX, 830 AM. With over 40 years of broadcasting experience, Mr. Edwards has become a central figure in the media landscape, serving the community through various media services. His dedication to the industry earned him an induction into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Beyond radio, Edwards is an executive director of the historic Cleveland Post newspaper, Ohio's largest and only African-American newspaper here. In this role, he leads the paper's advertising, circulation, and community outreach efforts, helping to preserve its legacy. He is also a trusted confidant and executive assistant to the legendary boxing promoter and publisher of the Cleveland Post, Mr. Don King. Before his broadcasting career, Edwards served for 27 years as a Cleveland police officer, holding various roles. including administrative sergeant and leadership of the Detective Bureau. His commitment to public service extended beyond law enforcement, as he has been a steadfast supporter of local churches, pastors, and political leaders striving to improve Cleveland community. A member of the National Association of Broadcasters and the Gospel Music Workshop of America's Announcers Guild, can't see, Dale Edwards has a deep passion for service and media. He is also an ordained minister, providing spiritual guidance and support to countless individuals throughout his life. His contributions have left a lasting impact on Cleveland's media, law enforcement, and faith communities. Bring it to the stage right now, Dale Edwards.
When we met, it wasn't quite clear to me.
Good evening. I'm just elated to be here this evening, and I'm thankful to Lamont and to the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame for including me and thinking about the least of them. You know, all the time when things are getting done, people forget about all of the things and the work that people have put in to get to where they are, you know, and when you think about when they're reading what they're saying, you know, talking about you, you don't realize all the things that God has allowed you to do. But I tell you, this is an incredible, incredible honor tonight. And it's beyond anything that I could imagine when I first started my journey in the music industry. Above all, to be recognized alongside all of these legendary R&B groups who paved the way. This is truly inspiring to me. You know, not every day your first job that you work. My first job in radio was working for WABQ. And God allowed me to turn around and come back years later and actually buy that radio station. You know, really, I count it as a miracle. You know, from where I started, I look around the room and I think about all the people that I started with, and when we played on the streets of 173rd out in Lee Harvard, and then on to 91st and 93rd in St. Clair, when we used to wash the cars of, I tell you what, I'm gonna go all the way back for you. You know, back when we came up, our idols were the gangsters. You know, I'm just gonna keep it honest with you, you know, and most of you don't even remember. I'm trying to remember they blew him up on 105th Street, but he probably had the biggest funeral that Cleveland has ever seen. But we used to wash his car. Scatterbrain, Herman Scatterbrain, right. And I tell you, you know, I never dreamed that, you know, God would allow me to do some of the things that I was able to do. But I tell you what, I'd like to thank my incredible family who's here with me tonight, and they worked alongside me. I'd like to thank my mother, my daughter Danelle, my son Dale, Maverick, Layla, Dior, Jamin, Rylan, and I'd like to thank some incredible friends who are with me also, Tina Farmer and some of the folks that work with me, and my niece Candy, and Samantha, Chuck, Louie, Sonny, Terry. You see Louie going around here taking pictures. They've been with us. And then I'd also like to thank Lynn Tolliver for giving me an opportunity to be on the radio. Zen and Lee Zappis. They stood beside me. They allowed me to do some great, wonderful things. And then I met a wonderful lady. I knew her a long time. I remember when she slept on the floor, and that truly, truly encouraged me, not knowing that I would meet her, and that was the great Kathy Hughes, a woman who I truly, truly admire. Then I'd like to thank Lowry Mays. He owned Clear Channel. He gave me my first opportunity to buy 2 radio stations and helped me get the financing for it. Also, Jack Lynn, who sold me WABQ. And just late, I tell you what, blessings keep coming. Pastor Durrell and Belinda Scott sold me their radio station, WCCD 1000, and that radio station will be coming back on the air in this coming week. I'd like to thank my spiritual leaders, Dr. E.T. Cavanagh, Dr. Otis Moss Jr., Bishop Eugene Ward, who's here with me today, Dr. Larry Macon, and Dr. Artis Caver, my legal team, Roger Sennenberg, Percy Squire, Bird, and Mike, my mentor, my friend, my adopted father, a man who's always helped me share his vision, show me wisdom, and challenged me to be mature and to believe in myself. And that's none other than Don King. Again, to you, Lamont, this organization, thank you for thinking about me. And God bless each and every one of you.
How you feel, brother? You feel good? Ain't so much bone, brother. How you feel, man? I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, fella? Hey, Jam! Sure getting down. Look at him. We're gonna have a fun, good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you high.
Thank you, Dale Edwards.
All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again, huh? We gotta take you high. Brother, now I want everybody, let's Fred blow about 2 choruses. And then I want to wave in, let's go and do that with this now, all right?
Yeah, you gotta do your thing on some James, don't you? He said, don't it sound good? You know what James said. Funky, hey. Funky, funky, funky. Buddy Miles was an influential American drummer, vocalist, and composer, best known for his work in the genres of rock, blues, and R&B. He gained fame as a drummer for the Electric Flag and later as a key collaborator with Jimi Hendrix in the Band of Gypsies, where he was a powerful drummer and had a soulful voice left with a lasting impact. In addition to his work with Hendrix, Miles had a successful solo career, releasing such hits as Them Changes, and collaborating the artist with Carlos Santana. His dynamic performances and genre-blending style made him a pioneering figure in the evolution of modern music. Here to do a tribute and accept on behalf of the late, great Buddy Miles is James Rouse.
This is my tribute to Buddy Miles from my present record.
Oh, she's crazy. She's crazy. Oh, she's crazy. She's crazy. Yeah.
If you know it, clap your hands.
Well, my mind is going through the changes. I think I might commit a crime. Every time you see me going somewhere, I'm about to lose my natural mind.
had to run. Hey, hey, hey. Know what I mean? Hey, hey. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my mind is going to changes. I think I might commit a crime. Every time you see me going so well, I'm about to lose my natural mind. 'Cause she had me running, but she had me hiding. She had me running, hiding, running, yeah. She had me running, she had me hiding. She had me running, yeah, 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 yeah. This is Mr. Marcus Machado on guitar. When she look into my eyes, oh, she's crazy. Girl, got me hypnotized. She's crazy. When she look into my eyes, oh, she's crazy. Girl, got me hypnotized. She's everything I wanted, everything I thought I need. Man, that chick is crazy. Brought me down to my knees. She's everything I wanted, everything I thought I need. Man, that chick is crazy. Brought me down to my knees. She's crazy. Brought me through my eyes. Oh, she's crazy. Got me hypnotized. Yeah, 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 yeah. That chick is crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you. Well, and then there's that. So, I'm used to being behind a drum set singing and playing, or being a music director, so this is a change for me. So, thank you all for having me. Thank you. Thank you. So, first giving honor to God for being here and for the gift of music. And I'm sure you all are grateful for the gift of music because we wouldn't be here without it. Our history is deeply rooted in music and what it has done for us as a people. Buddy Miles, I first got hip to him when I was in high school, like 10th grade, and I was like, wait a minute, who's that? Playing with the Band of Gypsies. And it stuck with me. And being a singing drummer, it really pushed me from 10th grade to now with every artist I've played for professionally, non-professionally, and it always pushed watching the moniker of who he was and the imprint he laid on my life. I'm grateful to stand on behalf of the family, the Buddy Miles family and the Buddy Miles estate to accept this award, and thank you all for honoring him, and may his legacy live on and his music live on. And if you like, I have a record giving honor and tribute to Buddy Miles. It's called Biscuit and Buddy. You can see me in the back. I'll be outside. God bless you all.
James Biscuit Rouse, representing the Buddy Miles estate. WJMO 1490 and WABQ 1540 are two iconic radio stations in Cleveland, Ohio, known for their significant contributions to the city's music scene and the careers of legendary radio personalities. WJMO 1490, established in the 1960s, quickly became a prominent platform for R&B and soul music, showcasing the talents of influential figures like Ed Wright, Odessa Still, and Denver Wilborn. The station was celebrated for its community engagement and dedication to promoting local artists, fostering a vibrant connection between the music and its listeners. WABQ 1540 also emerged as a vital force in the Cleveland radio landscape, featuring a lineup of legendary DJs such as Wash Allen, Mary Holt, and Mike Payne. Known for its dynamic programming, WABQ played a key role in introducing audiences to the sounds of the day, particularly R&B and gospel music. Both stations have been instrumental in shaping the careers of renowned personalities like Ken Hawkins, Chuck Conway Sr. and Jr., and Lynn Tolliver. Their collective contributions have left an enduring legacy, making WJMO and WABQ celebrated names in the history of Cleveland radio. Today, they are remembered not just for their music, but for their impact on the community and the artists they championed. Here to accept on behalf of both radio stations today is a longtime Cleveland radio legend who is currently on WOVU 95.9 FM and is also the station's general manager. Let's welcome to the stage Jay the Gospel Kid.
I'm missing a few people. They out in the hallway. It's kind of cold in here, right? Yeah. So allow me to take time out and first of all to tell you my relationship with this iconic person by the name of Lamont Robinson. It's bigger than R&B. We come out to church. Anybody know Lamont? Anybody Church of God in Christ up in here? Lamont Robinson has been this person that's been given this gift to go out of his way to make a difference. If you ever heard of Meadowlark Lemon, that's Lamont. If you get anywhere around any sports, you see Lamont. If you talk about rhythm and blues, you see Lamont. If you talk about gospel, you see Lamont. Here we are, 13 years. And what you just heard from this great host who said how JMO and ABQ intertwine all of Cleveland's flavor. I brought my folk up. They represent all of Cleveland's faith. Cleveland is not just R&B and hip hop. Crystal, I need you up here. Unicorn. It's not just hip hop and R&B. It's gospel. It's inspiration. It's sports. It's talk. That's what you got from JMO and ABQ. WOVU, we carry that every day. We're 6 years old, and we do what we do because of the crew. See, you can't get there without folk that do it all. Okay, I'm gonna get one person to say amen in a minute. I'm gonna get one. And when I see the wonderful councilwoman who represents Ward 4 in this room, and I know my executive director who would be here, but somebody's doing some work at her house, we're determined to make sure that the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame be in Cleveland on Buckeye. Okay, I got one person. Maybe I can get two. Can I get you to put your hands together? Can we make some noise up in here? Come on. See, the problem is when Lamont started this 13 years ago, and he did it downtown at Cleveland State, and then we went to Canton, Ohio, and now he's been all over the country. But when you go grab an icon like Terry Stewart, when you bring people in this room that gets a chance to understand the importance of having our own, don't you know it means something when you got your own, when you can support your own? Cleveland, this is for you. Yeah. So I'll leave right now. I know stuff done fell on the floor. They'll pick it up and get it right. But I want Lamont to know that this right here, this birth that you are birthing in this city, WOVU 95.9, we're going to put hands, feet, arms, legs, toes, and ears, and voices, and we're going to sound the alarm, because Cleveland, guess what, baby? You need this. So let me hurry along. I'm not going to do like the mother who took her time about Terry Stewart. I'm going to hurry along, and I'm going to say this to you. I want you to repeat after me. I can. Oh, y'all quiet. Well, come on. I can. I will. I shall support the R&B Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Now make some noise, everybody. Thank you. My wife, my family, check us out, 95.9 WOVU. We not playing. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had church this afternoon, didn't we? We had church. Yes, we did. All right. Rose Marie McCoy was an influential American songwriter and producer, known for her prolific contributions to R&B, jazz, pop, and country music. Active primarily in the 50s and 60s, McCoy wrote and co-wrote for different iconic artists such as Elvis Presley, Nat King Cole, Big Joe Turner, and Aretha Franklin. Despite facing racial and gender barriers in the music industry, she became one of the few successful African-American songwriters of her time. Her work spanned for over 6 decades, making her a trailblazer in shaping the sound of popular music during the mid-20th century. Coming to the stage right now is the niece of Rose Marie McCoy, Paula Brazil, and a major contribution to her also is Arlene Corsana.
Hi, my name is Arlene. To Rose, I was always Arlena. And why am I here? Because I met Rose in 2001, April, her birthday. And there was a party at Maxine Brown's house, and I was working with the show with Maxine Brown, and the singer. And Rose had written a few songs for her, but I didn't know at the party it was crowded with people like Benny King, well, a lot of people in the music business. And I saw this lovely woman who I thought considered an older woman. And she was walking gingerly because she had these great shoes on, but she'd hurt her back. And I knew nothing about her except she hit her neighbor's car on the way over. It was in Harlem, and she lives in the town next to me. And she hit her neighbor's car, and she got lost in Harlem, which she knew because she, lived there for a while. And so I said, gee, that next day I called up, next morning I called Maxine up and said, I'll take that elderly lady the next time we have a party or a show. I'll pick her up because, now I'm that elderly lady's age. And I wish I had people driving me around. And we went out to a lot of places. I didn't know how important she was. Maxine told me that I should write an article about her. I'm a former school teacher, but I was retired, and I was writing for newspapers. And one was it was for one town, the town she lived in. It was their Gazette or their whatever. It was a small paper. But this was in Teaneck, New Jersey. And in Teaneck, New Jersey, it's right across from New York City. And there were a lot of people in the music business, singers, recording artists, musicians. And as soon as the article came out, people were calling her up. And she started calling me up and saying, oh, come over, I want you to meet this singer, this musician, this whatever. And everybody, she told everybody that she introduced me, and she said, this is Arlena, and she's going to make me famous again. And I kept telling her, well, I listened for a while. I thought it was a joke, really. And then she said, one time I said, please stop saying that. I said, I don't know how to do that. I'm a former school teacher that, wrote this one show for Maxine. I said, I don't know how to do that. And she looked at me and stared and said, I keep saying that because if I keep saying that, you'll have to do it. And I have to do it. This has been 23 years. And I want to tell you how important she was because I don't think anybody knows. You probably don't know her name. You know the names of people who she wrote songs for, that's for sure. A lot of them were mentioned here tonight. But why isn't she so well known? Well, first of all, her first hit was for Big Maybelle, and it was in 1953. Within 5 years, she had a top 10 hit for Nat King Cole and a top 10 hit for Elvis Presley. But those were pop top 10s. But she also had top 10 hits for people that some of younger people might not know. Ruth Brown, who recorded 10 of Bombo Baby was the #1 hit. Ruth Brown, Faye Adams, a little aphasia and old age here is attacking me. Big Maybelle, Big Joe Turner. These were all top 10 hits, and more. I think there were 10. She had about 10 top 10 hits, but most of them, except for Elvis and Nat King Cole, were rhythm and blues hits. And of course, rhythm and blues in the 1950s was not played on major radio stations, nor was it sold in most record stores. So people like me, I was, like 7 in 1953. I wasn't going to hear those songs. They were on radio stations at the end of the dial, and they weren't that loud. Since we were friends, and I wound up writing her biography, which I was taking notes for somebody else, and he said it was too difficult. I said, well, I'll do it. And because most of it's in Rose's words, and she told great stories. Anyways, Al Bell, owner of Stax Records and past president of Motown Records Group, he said about, is this a problem? Okay, all right. He said, I don't know of any other songwriter with the kind of track record Rosemary McCoy has. Her songs have been recorded by so many legendary artists in such a diversity of styles. Jazz, rhythm and blues, pop, country, gospel. It's mind-boggling what she has done. And Rose never worked for him. She never worked for Motown. She never worked. In fact, she was an independent songwriter, which makes it a lot harder for anybody to get let's see, BMI right now has 857 songs that she wrote, and ASCAP she left, so we don't know. But I want to say one more thing, because this has to do with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm sorry because I am so grateful for Lamont Robertson for what he's done, because she is not in the Songwriters Hall of Fame yet, which is a shame. And there is hardly anybody, I mean, you're listening to Al Bell, you know I'm just not making this up because she was my friend, but John Broven said to me, and this, I'll end with this one, I promise. He wrote a lot of songs about record makers and breakers about rhythm and blues, and he said about Rose, in the 1950s when she broke in, she led the way for the female songwriters who followed. I forgot what they called them, but big names, big names. And also said, she led, but I will say this one because this is important for your end. Well, okay. She led the way from segregated rhythm and blues to international rock and roll. And please remember that when you talk to anybody in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well. Very quickly, my name is Paula Brazil, and I am delighted and proud to say that Rosemary Hinton McCoy was my beloved cousin. And I am here to let you know that family representation is very important. Can I get an amen? I stand before you today on behalf of the McIntosh family. We are McIntoshes going up a couple generations. Rose's mom and my grandfather were brother and sister, and Rose was my father's favorite cousin. I will never forget the first time one of Rose's songs came on the radio, and my dad said, that's your cousin Rose's song. And there's nothing like inspiring someone to hear a family member doing something that phenomenal. And because of the career that I have now, where I do things in communication, I consider myself one of the blood heirs of her talents. So I appreciate that she has been honored here with the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame Rose was a joy to our family. She was a phenomenal, phenomenal person. She left those cotton fields and colored water in Arkansas and found herself in the bright lights of Broadway in the famous Brill Building writing music. And one of the things that was so phenomenal about Rose, she was a true outlier. She broke barriers. Can you imagine a black woman trying to write music back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, because she was a performer before she was a writer. That beautiful picture that my cousin, who is her beloved niece, that's why they thought I was the niece, but I'm here on behalf of Rose's niece, who was unable to travel here from Southern Illinois. Helen Brown, love her to death, and she loved her Aunt Ree. That's what she called Rose, Rosemarie, her Aunt Ree. And she was just phenomenal in what she did. Black women were not allowed to leave the cotton fields and domestic service to do the things that Rose did. But she believed in her talents, she believed in her abilities, and she broke barriers. The odds were truly stacked against her, but she believed in herself. She was courageous enough to follow her calling, and because of that, those songs have become a timeless testament to her talent and vision. Her music touched lives. It was through her melodies and lyrics she connected with so many people. All of the wonderful artists she wrote for. She helped make Elvis famous. One of her songs was on Elvis's first album. And when I saw that picture of Elvis, I said, "You're gone, Rose," because she helped him to become famous. If he thought enough of her to put one of her songs on his album, that told you what her talent was like. Amen. And it became a foundation for so many artists. She helped to prosper a lot of people. You know, there's the artist and then there's the writer. And it's like peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper, a lock and a key. They have to go together. And I'm so proud to be in the room with other people here today that understand that recognize and appreciate it, and also have shown their talents. And I stand here today, I actually have the audacity to believe that Rose's career seeded the careers of many powerful women who followed in her footsteps. Her boldness, her creativity, her persistence paved the way for generations of women. And not just white women, but black women particularly. We find ourselves now in places and in industries and spaces that were once closed to us. And I truly believe what Rose did for music played a role in shaping the possibilities for the world we live in today. One where women, especially black women, are leaders in business, the arts, and even politics. Wink, wink, wink. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Her journey, her tenacity, her belief in herself, it all contributed to a legacy far greater than music alone. In many ways, she planted seeds of progress and empowerment for black women and black men also. My dad said she was a tough customer when she went up in that Brill Building. She walked up in there like she owned the joint. And that's what we have to do. We have to have our swagger. We have to go in there, because if we have the talents, we deserve to be in the fields, in the industry, whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. If we have the God-given talents, we have a right to be up in the house. And that's what Rose did. One of the personal lessons and lasting lessons that I got from Rose, I saw her before she passed away at her 90th birthday party, and Rose still was pretty much together. She had insisted when her niece took her from her beautiful home in Teaneck, New Jersey, to go live with her in New Jersey, that she take her grand piano with her, because she believed every day of her life. And she told me that if God gives you a gift, that gift is yours to use until he calls you home. And every single day, she got up with the belief there might be another hit in her, and she didn't even play that piano anymore, but she thought that day might come. I'm gonna get up, and a new song is gonna come out. And I think that's a lesson for all of us. I hope each and every one of you will use your talents until God calls you home. We bless the name of Rosemarie Hinton McCoy. Thank you.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, against the white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters.
Candy Staten is an American R&B, soul, and gospel singer, best known for her powerful, emotionally resonant voice. She gained fame in the 1970s with hits like Young Hearts, Run Free, and her soulful rendition of Stand By Your Man. Staten started her career singing gospel, performing with the Jewel Gospel Trio before transitioning to secular music. Throughout her career, she has seamlessly blended genres from R&B to disco to gospel. Her music often touches on themes of love, heartbreak, and resilience, making her a beloved figure in soul and R&B music. Ms. Staten was unable to attend, but here's a video from her that's going to be playing here.
Good evening, and thank you for inducting me into the 2024 13th Annual Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. I'm so honored that you selected me. I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I know you guys are gonna have a great time. But I'm with you in spirit. So I thank you for the award, for the jackets, and all the things that you gave me. God bless you. You were so sweet, and I love you all so much. God bless you. Have a fun, and just know that I'm there. Hey, in spirit. Good night.
Oh, my
I love you all.
Ken Hawkins was a legendary radio personality renowned for his vibrant presence on WJMO 1490 AM in Cleveland, Ohio. Hawkins became a beloved figure in the local music scene, captivating audiences with his engaging personality and deep knowledge of R&B and soul music. His infectious enthusiasm for the genre helped elevate the profiles of numerous artists and introduce listeners to a diverse array of sounds. Hawkins was known for his signature broadcasting style, blending music with storytelling, yeah, I remember, humor, and community engagement. His shows became a staple for many Cleveland residents, fostering a sense of connection amongst listeners. In addition to his work at WJMO, he was actively involved in promoting local events and supporting emerging artists, leaving a lasting legacy in the radio industry. Throughout his career, Hawkins received numerous accolades for the contributions to broadcasters and music. His passion for R&B and dedication to his credit solidified the status of the key figure of Cleveland's cultural landscape, that's right. Though he has passed on, Ken Hawkins' influence continues to resonate, inspiring new generations of radio personalities and music lovers alike. Coming to the stage to accept on behalf of the late, great Ken Hawkins is Ken Hawkins, Jr.
I promise to make it short because I don't want the music to give me the boot. I had a long page set up, but I cut it down after they started playing the music for the other folks. I'm only kidding when I say that. Everyone, thank you, Lamont. But also, Russell Johnson also deserves a round of applause because, Russell, can you stand up? Russell's done a lot for the R&B Hall of Fame, and it can't be done without him. And I appreciate the both of you. My dad was a true family man. His favorite holidays was Christmas and Thanksgiving, not because it was a holiday, but because the family was coming together. And that's all that mattered to him was his family, food and family. And that's the only thing that mattered to him was food and family. I
I never knew my dad was Ken Hawkins because he was just dad. You know, when he came home, he left work at work. He didn't come home and say, hey, James Brown this, and the Temptations that. You know, he took me with him to do a lot of things. So I learned about the industry at a very young age. He never wanted me in this industry, but I'm in it. He married my mom. He met my mom at the age of 13 years old. They got married at the age of 18 years old. They stayed married for 70 years. Yeah. That's rare. That's rare. He worked at he did factory work as a young man, but he also studied to get his FCC license to become a disc jockey. He got his license, which is a very difficult thing to do. He got his license, and he knocked on some radio station doors saying, hey, this is what I want to do. The doors were closed. He knocked on WJMO's door and said, hey, I have my license, I want to be a DJ. WJMO said, come on in, we can't put you on the air, but if you want to come in, sweep the floors, take out the garbage, we'll find something for you to do. That was meant to be because the story has it that one of the DJs on the air got sick on the air, and they took him off the air, they took him off the radio, took him to the hospital, and my dad says, hey, I can finish up his last 2 hours. So they gave him those last 2 hours, and as he was speaking, the phone started blowing up. Who's this guy, Ken Hawkins? Who's this guy with the loud voice? And the rest is history. He did 12 years as a general manager. I'm sorry, he did 12 years as a DJ on the radio. He did 8 years as general manager of the radio station. During his time at the radio station, WEWS Channel 5 came along and said, we want to do a music variety show with you. And that's how the Ken Hawkins show started. If you think about Soul Train had Soul Train dancers, and they had artists such as the Temptations and James Brown. So did my dad's show. My dad had James Brown and Dionne Warwick and all these artists. So once his show ended, Don Cornelius and the other producers came along and said, we want to do a show similar to what you've got. So he kind of guided Don Cornelius into the start of Soul Train. Soul Train took off and did many good, successful years. And my dad just stayed in the background because that's how he was. I just recently heard this story. There's a lot of stories I just recently hear about my dad. I hear stories from people in the room about my dad because dad was dad. He was not Ken Hawkins to me and my siblings. I idolized my dad. I wish my dad was here. My son is here, Terrell. My dad speaks to me often. He speaks to me often, but right at this very moment, he's not speaking to me. He just has a big smile on his face. And he's proud of me, he's proud of my son. But not only is he proud of us, we are proud of him. You know, everybody loves their mom and dad. I love my dad, I love my mom, but I'm proud to be Ken Hawkins Jr. You know, I don't walk the walk saying I'm Ken Hawkins Jr., but I am proud to be Ken Hawkins Jr. Yeah, he's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot. I'll tell a quick story, and I'll cut it short. I was picking up some food to go, and a young lady sitting next to me was waiting for her order, and she started playing a Tammy Terrell song. I didn't know it was Tammy because there was no music to it. It was just Tammy singing. So I asked her, said, who's that singing? She said, she's a young gal. She said, this is Tammy Terrell. I said, okay. I didn't recognize her at first, but yeah. And I said, well, where's the rest? Where's the music at? Where's the Marvin Gaye at? She says, oh yeah, that's who she did that song with, Marvin Gaye. And she was just learning about certain things. So we started talking about music, and then she says, I know all about Diana Ross. Wasn't she married to that guy? What's that guy's name she was married to? I said, Berry Gordy. Yeah, that's his name, Berry Gordy. And a lot of things she didn't know, but I say that story to say there's a generation or two out there that doesn't know who Berry Gordy is. There's a generation or two that doesn't know who Ken Hawkins is. but they know how to take the sample of a lot of the music that a lot of people in this room started and make their hits off of what we started. You know, and they need to be educated. I think there's enough people in this room to maybe put together, collaborate. Come together is the key word. Everybody in this room knows what I'm talking about. Come together. Come together. And let's put something together. I'm not saying let's put it together, but just something to think about. Let's educate the young generation of those who are listening to our music. They need to know where it came from. It won't go into the schools. They will not teach who Berry Gordy was. They will not teach who Ken Hawkins was. But somehow, some way, we need to teach the younger generation not just about music. We're going to teach them how to act. You know, that's a whole nother story. But in closing, all I'm going to say, thank you very much. My dad is looking down. He's got a big smile on his face. And he's very appreciative of what Lamont, Russell, and the whole team, it's not just the two of them. They got a team. Thank you very much.
Every day there's something new. Oh, baby, honey, to keep me loving you. Oh, honey, and with every passing minute, oh, baby, so much joy wrapped up in it. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love. Oh, and now.
Genuine. Not genuine, but genuine. How many of you know his real name? There you go. Born Elgin Baylor Lumpkin is an American R&B singer, songwriter, and actor, best known for his smooth vocals and seductive style. He rose to prominence in the late 1990s with his breakout single, Pony, produced by Timbaland, which became an iconic R&B hit. Genuine's debut album, Genuine the Bachelor, in 1996, cemented his place as a leading figure in contemporary R&B. Over the years, he has released several successful albums, including 100% Genuine and The Life, with hits like Differences and So Anxious. Known for his soulful voice and romantic ballads, Genuine remains a celebrated artist in the R&B genre. Unfortunately, Genuine couldn't be here due to a family emergency, but we have coming to the stage to pay tribute to Genuine is Black Rose.
Y'all know this song? Y'all get up and have a good time. I know it's an award show. Turn our music up a little bit, please. Ooh-wee. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. Look, turn up a little bit, please. I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner. Someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. Gotta be compatible. It takes me to my limits. Ooh, girl, if I break you off, I promise that you won't wanna get off. Honey, let's do it. Riding my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming. Ooh, yeah. Let's do it. Riding my pony, my saddle. Oh yeah. Look, I'm sitting here flossing, peeping your stilo. Just once, if I had the chance, the things that I would do to you and your body, every single portion send chills up and down my spine. Your juices flowing down your thigh. If you're horny, sing, let's do it. Right in my booty. Ooh-wee, baby, just come in, jump on it. If you're horny, baby, just right in my body, my saddle. Waiting, ride with me, baby. Oh, yeah. All you got to do is ride with me, baby. Oh, look, if you wanna get yeah, until I reach your ponytail. Somebody say, ooh. You'll be on my jockey team. Oh, baby. You're horny. Let's do it. Come on and ride with me. Marcelo. Ooh, yeah. Horny. Let's do it, baby. Right in my body. Said he's waiting. Come on, baby. Thank you.
Woo, yeah, let's hear it again. Wow. Woo, all right. Decompress. Well, speak of decompressing, let me tell you. Kenny Lattimore. Stop it. He is a renowned R&B singer celebrated for his smooth vocals and emotionally rich ballads. Born in Washington, D.C., Lattimore gained widespread recognition in the mid-90s with his debut album, featuring the hit single, Never Too Busy. His music seamlessly blends classic soul with contemporary R&B, earning him a loyal fan base and critical acclaim. Influenced by legendary artists such as Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, and Stevie Wonder. Need I say any more? Lattimore is known for his sophisticated sound, romantic themes, and timeless delivery. Throughout his career, he has remained a staple in the R&B genre, releasing several successful albums and cementing his place as a beloved voice in modern soul music. Coming to the stage right now to do tribute to Lattimore is Napoleon Demps.
First of all, I just want to say it's a blessing to be up here and able to just give tribute to Kenny Lattimore, because I remember playing some songs in some very intimate situations, and Kenny helped me through, you know.
For you, I give a lifetime of stability. Anything you want of me. Nothing is impossible for you. I give.
I forgot my words. you thinking of. I'm gonna come back, y'all. 'Cause I share all I have and nothing I said is hard to understand. I'm gonna have to catch y'all. Everything I do now makes sense. All roads in, all I do is for you. Kenny, you looking at me, man. I'm sorry, brother. For you, I share the cup of love that overflows, and anyone who knows us knows. I would give up all I had for you. There is no low or high or in between of my heart that you haven't seen. 'Cause I share all I have and nothing I've said is hard to understand. All I feel deeper still, and always will. All this love is for you. Every note that I play, every word I might say, every melody I feel is all of you and your appeal. Every word that I write, every day of my life would not be filled with all the things, but for you my love now brings. For you I make a promise of fidelity, now into eternity. No one else can take this love for you. There is no low or high or in between of my heart that you haven't seen. 'Cause I share all I have and am. Nothing is so hard to understand. All I feel, I die, and that's why all I am is for you. All I feel, I do now makes sense. All words in, all I do is for you. For you. Kenny, I made it work, brother. Thank you.
I'm going to try to be, it is a lot of words to that song, too. Thank you so much for the tribute. I want to give honor to God tonight. I'm grateful for being here. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, my family that's here. My dad is here. My wife is here. My baby, and my cousin Will, and my sister Denise, my friends John and Cece, and I'm just overwhelmed. I thank you for this opportunity, keeping our genre alive and respected as it is. It's influenced so many other genres of music. And while there's a lot of things that I was going to say that I'm not going to say tonight. I just want you to know that I'm grateful. And wow. Great is thy faithfulness unto me, Father. There is no shadow of turning in thee. Thy failest not, thy compassions, O Lord, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever shall be. I'm just grateful to God for being here. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, I think we're going to get Mr. Lattimore to come up here and do the rest of the show. Come on up here. No, I'm just kidding. But we are here to pay tribute to one of Rutgers University's finest. And I did read that article last night, and as a 19-year educator, I was thoroughly impressed. And it just goes to show that a lot of these legends that are coming up here, it's just about more than just music. They impact people's lives beyond music. And when I read that, it just touched me as an educator. Regina Bell is an American R&B, soul, and jazz singer, celebrated for her smooth voice and romantic ballads. She rose to fame in the late 1980s with hits like Baby, Come to Me, and Make It Like It Was. Bell is perhaps, I might disagree with this, but I'm just gonna read it anyway. Bell is perhaps best known for her Grammy Award-winning duet with Peabo Bryson called A Whole New World from Disney's Aladdin soundtrack. Throughout her career, she has blended R&B with gospel and jazz influences, releasing multiple chart-topping albums. Bell has also won acclaim for her gospel music, continuing to perform and inspire across genres with her soulful artistry. Here to sing one of Regina Bell's classics is Angel Ballard.
baby. Yeah, you. Come a little closer. That's it. Oh, something's telling me the fire's burning right up your spine. And something's telling me you will be all mine. 'Cause I love you. Have you? You got it going on. You turning me on, baby. Come to me, sweet baby. I love you. Sweet baby, sweet baby, come to me now. Baby, come to me, sweet baby. I love you.
They get me right. Wow. Wow. I'm like, is baby girl even, how, she old enough to know who I am? Giving honor to God, who is definitely the head of my life. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you to my husband, John Sidney Battle III. Thank you to my family, my mother, my father, my brother, who I believe continues to look down on me even at this moment. To my friends, and there are a plethora of those. To Mr. Lamont Robinson, I want to thank you for seeing me, for your entire staff for seeing me. I appreciate you so much. To Sherm and AARP, who are sponsors, Johnny Taylor, Edna Kane Williams from AARP. Thank you to Ivy Taylor, my manager, who continues to just, she's not just a manager, she is my sister. She's one who hovers over me like a hen over its chicks. She's my role partner, and she's my prayer warrior. And I appreciate her for knowing who I am, and always in every situation, never fails to do her job and then some. I appreciate you. To all of the record companies, whoever recorded me, to the musicians, producers, songwriters, and to every person who has been a part of helping Regina Belle to be Regina Belle, I appreciate you and I see you. Thank you. Thank you, God, for this journey. It's been some good days and it's been some bad days. But as I tell everybody, even at my worst, if I continue to be me, I'm still gonna be number one. Trying to emulate someone else, at best, I can only be number two. And so I thank God for the comfortability of being able to wear my own shoes. I want to thank my ancestors, to whom all those shoulders that I stand on right now, even being here right now, when I heard when I heard you speak, one thing you talked about is the time in which you came along. And you talked about one of the things that we forget about is that so many artists and so many people, so many of my ancestors paid dues for us to be able to even walk in the front doors of the places that we frequent nowadays. And so I'm honored to stand on the shoulders of them. To all the inductees, congratulations. Thank you so much for your hard work because you've been an inspiration to me, the Duke of Earl. I can't. It'll make me lose my mind up in here. If you can't imagine a miracle, I need you to look at me tonight. In 2009, I suffered a brain tumor. And I had to be, the surgery that was supposed to take only 4 hours took 8 hours. And I bled out so much that they had to stop the surgery and allow me to heal for 6 months. And then they went back in my head. And it took me 10 months to be able to feed myself, to be able to put on my own clothes, to be able to walk by myself. But God is so amazing that I don't look like what I've been through. And you would not have known anything about my situation had I not told you. So I'm grateful that I was restored. And let me tell you something. I have no hearing in my left ear, but I got more work in these years, just like I was 25, just like I was 35, and I'm 61. Somebody need to... I am a true paradigm, a model, and I elucidate that it doesn't matter what other people think of you. It's how you view yourself. Lastly, thank you, God, for this wonderful gift of song to articulate love to the world in a language that all can understand. Said I love you, said I love you in this place where there's no space or time. Y'all know I love you for my life, 'cause you've always been a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were here together. We're here alone, and I am singing this song to you. We're here alone. I'm singing this song to you. We're here alone, and I am singing this song. Singing this song to you. Thank y'all.
I know that God, my God, God is good. Yes, He is. God, my God, God is good. And know that He brought me out of darkness. God is good.
hear the church over there. Woo. I gotta take a breath for that. Like I say, I just love Regina. I tell you, I remember years ago, I saw her at the Front Row Theater, and she did a rendition of Mr. Bojangles. Do you remember doing that? And let me tell you what, Sammy didn't have anything on that one. I remember it so well. Oh my gosh, I have to, whoo. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, whoo. After Kenny singing Great Is Thy Faithfulness and that, I'm glad I didn't wear eyelashes. I didn't put them on today. All right. She's already got the prelude to the next. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Osborne. Jeffrey Osborne is an American R&B soul and jazz singer. I love that. Songwriter and musician, known for his rich, powerful voice. He has first gained recognition as the lead vocalist for the funk and soul band LTD. Ooh, I remember that back in the day. I was only about 4, but no, I'm just kidding. Stop it, stop it. I was there in the 70s with his hits like Love Ballad. And every time I turn around, Back in Love Again in the 80s. Yes, yes. Osborne launched a successful solo career, releasing classic songs like On the Wings of Love, Stay With Me Tonight, and You Should Be Mine. The woo-woo. Come on, what? See, these are songs we can remember. You know what I mean? With a career spanning over 5 decades, Osborne is revered for his smooth ballads, dynamic stage presence, and contributions to R&B and soul music. Here to pay tribute to Jeffrey Osborne is the legendary Cleveland's own Michael Bell and the ladies of Level Up.
Somebody say, yeah, yeah. Now listen, I want you to be honest with me. You ought to be ready to party by now. Am I right? We've been sitting too long. Jeffrey Osborne, when we think about Jeffrey, I think about conviction. Whether it's love, it's meaningful, it reaches your heart. When it's time to party, he has that conviction. And it is time to party. So Cleveland, let's show Jeffrey what it's like to be honored in Cleveland, Ohio, and stand on your feet. Come on your feet. We're gonna party a little bit. Very hard to do it, and that's no lie. I said, it's very hard to do when love is gone. Hey, yeah. I know you gotta be.
Baby, that's the bottom line.
Oh, I bet you won't wait night.
Never rest a bit. Wish it all would disappear.
Yeah. But still the bottom line is, if you know it, sing it with us. Put those hands together. Hey, I said, hold it on. It's very hard to do when love's gone, and that's no lie. I said, hold it on. It's very hard to do when love is gone. All right, Cleveland, put those hands together. Come on. Hey. You know this part?
Who are you kidding?
Who are you kidding? What? Do. Ha-ha. Who are you kidding?
Who are you kidding?
You sound good. Do it. Come on. Hey.
Ha. Who are you kidding? can drive you out your mind. There ain't no sense in crying.
It's time for you to
Baby,
leave.
that's the bottom line.
Oh, I bet you love wait night.
Wish it all would disappear.
But still the bottom line is
To yourself and these people.
I said hold it on. Where up you when love is gone. And that's no lie. I said hold it on. Hey, where up you when love is gone. When love is gone. Hey. Come on, Debbie, come on. I said, hey, come on with it. I said, I said, listen to me now. When you see the feeling gone, hey, you got to stop holding on. Cause wait time is bad. Ain't who the love you don't have. So I drag it on and on. Jeffrey Osborne.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Jeffrey Osborne.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, everybody got a tribute song, and they didn't go over to nobody else to sing except me. What was up with that? But anyway, first of all, I want to thank you, Lamont. You don't know how much this means to me. This is an unbelievable honor. I mean, I was a young kid growing up in Providence, Rhode Island, youngest of 12 children. So we didn't even have R&B radio station when I was growing up in Providence, Rhode Island, believe it or not. We had to tune in once a week to Brown University. They had 1 hour of R&B music. So this is incredible for me to be inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame. You know, these are the moments that you wish your parents were here, your mother was here. Hoping I'm making my 11 brothers and sisters proud at this moment, because it's truly, I mean, this is something that I will treasure for the rest of my life. I want to thank my wife, Sherry, sitting there. My son, Jeffrey Osborne, is sitting here, Jr. My main man, Scott Weatherspoon, who's been with me for years, is sitting here. And I have to say that this is one of those moments, you know. Never expected this would happen. You're on the street corner, you're singing all these songs, and next thing you know, you're on stage with these people like the Temps and like Regina Bell. I've done many shows with Regina and Kenny Lattimore. But first of all, I want to thank Lamont not only for myself, but for all of these other inductees here, people that I've respected and admired all my life. Mr. Gene Chandler right here. It's truly an honor. I can't thank you all enough. I don't want to drag this on and on because I know you guys been sitting here all night, but I have to say, I have never been so much in love. Let me get to this. What we have is much more than they could see. That's what we got right here. What we have is much more than they could see. All right, right back. I'm back in love again. You know what? Thank you, brother, because you were good. I don't know why you came up there and made me sing, though. I was sitting there chilling and everything.
Well, we had that earlier conversation when I told you, I said, man, they got me here to sing for this guy who I look at as, he has a conviction of a Baptist soul minister, and he never let it go. And that phrasing, but he smoothed it out. And I said to you, this guy is Jeffrey Osborne. And you said to me, that's me, man. Which I knew. Much love from Jeffrey Osborne. How about it, huh?
Right.
Great brother, yes indeed.
Well, it's an honor to be inducted into an institution with all of my people that I love, that I grew up emulating. And these people I treasured. I got an opportunity to work in a record store when I was like 15. That's the only time I really got a chance to hear all this R&B music. And these people that I played over and over, the Eddie LeVert's my favorite person from Cleveland, right here, Cleveland. And I want you to know that I got my very first job at 15 years old, playing in a nightclub in Providence, Rhode Island with the OJs. There was 5 of them at the time back then. And I was sitting there, my mother let me go listen to them, and I said, Mom, I gotta go. She said, school night, you better get home. I'm like, okay, I went. And back then they had a drummer who was partaking in a certain drug, and he was nodding out after every song. And I was letting in, I'm like, well, what's that? So I got the chance to talk to him. I said, you guys need a drummer. They said, yeah, can you help us out? So I brought a few drummers up the next day to audition, and I ended up getting a job with the OJs at 15 years old, with all the inspiration I ever needed to continue into. That's why I say I pay tribute to all the people before me, all the beautiful people that I loved, the Gene Chandlers, the Donny Hathaways, the Marvin Gayes, all the way back, because I was the youngest of 12, so I had to listen to all of my brothers and sisters' music. So I got to listen to the Billie Holidays and the Dinah Washingtons. Yes, all those great singers back then. And I say I truly admire this whole genre of music which we have created, and I always will respect it. And I thank you again, Lamont, for giving me this opportunity to be inducted into this incredible institution. Thank you so much. I love you, and thank you all, and thank radio. Without radio, we wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. All right. Thank you. All right.
I see us in the park, strolling the summer days of imaginings in my head, and words from our hearts told only to the wind, felt even without being said. I don't wanna bore you with
your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. There's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. I don't wanna bore you.
I'm gonna have to have a glass of wine after that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Lamont Robertson, who is the think tank behind this wonderful organization, we'd like to mention that his mother is here today. Where's your mom? There she is. Blessings to moms. Yes, indeed. It's an honor. Dolores Robertson, yes. Yes, it's wonderful when we honor our mothers. Yes, yes. Yes. All right, you ready? All right.
And Lamont's gonna get me in trouble, so I better recognize my mother, Marilyn Washington, from the great state of South Carolina, Georgia, South. All right. Now, as we gather here to close out this induction ceremony, we want to pay tribute to the late, great, legendary superstar of R&B music, Frankie Beverly, who is being inducted posthumously into the 2024 class of the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. Frankie Beverly, born in 1946 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, rose to prominence as the frontman of the influential band Maze. With his signature smooth vocals and heartfelt lyrics, he captivated audiences across the globe. The group's blend of soul, funk, and jazz created timeless classics including Before I Let Go, Joy and Pain, and Happy Feelings. Beverly's music transcended generations, resonating with themes of love, joy, and resilience. His performances were characterized by an electric energy, connecting deeply with fans who often sing along with every note. Despite facing personal challenges, Beverly remained dedicated to his craft, leaving an indelible mark on the music industry. Today, as we honor Frankie Beverly's extraordinary contributions to R&B, we celebrate not just his music, but also his lasting impact on artists and fans alike. His legacy will continue to inspire and uplift, reminding us all of the power of soulful expression. On behalf of Frankie Beverly and his family, we, the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame Foundation, accept this award. This exhibit honoring Frankie Beverly will reside at the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame permanently. Join us as we welcome Frankie Beverly into the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. Forever enshrining his memory and artistry in the hearts of all who love music. Are we gonna have a video? No video, so just enjoy the music as we close out the show. Thank you, everybody.
Excuse me, everyone. If the inductees are still in the room, Lamont always get a group picture with the class. So if you're still in the room, can you come up on stage so we can get a group picture with all the inductees? Can you please put the jackets back on as well? Thank you.
You stood right beside me.
All inductees, can you please report to the stage with your jackets on so we can get a group picture?
You should know. I wanna make sure I'm right, girl, before I let go. We've had
photographers, come up front, please, so we can get a group picture.
I wanna make sure I'm right, girl.
Can we turn the music down, please, so they can hear me? Thank you. All inductees, if you're still in the room, can you please come to the stage so we can get a group picture? Thank you. You can bring your record as well. Lamont. All inductees, please report to the stage for a group picture. Thank you. If you have your gold record with you,